Hey guys, it's Whitney here, Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots, and I did a redesign of my wall in my office, so it's a fall wall redesign. I got a fall DIY, and you guys get to decorate with me too. So I got a little bit of everything in this video. Hopefully this touches base with a lot of you guys. So this is my wall in my office. This is the view from above my monitor, so looking at the back of my desk, and this is now what she looks like. And we're going to do all of this together. Are you guys excited? Because I am. So we're going to jump in. I just took some shots and some video of pretty much how it was. There's some stuff on my desk there. You can see that we're getting ready to start. And then there's some white shelves on the floor. But that is basically how my office has looked since we moved into this home. That's previously some artwork I had in a different room in my house, in my old house. And then when I came into this new house, I literally just threw things up into this wall, onto the walls in my house where they would fit. And that's been there for like 8 years. We've been in this house for 8 or 9 years. So it's time for a change. It's time for me to embrace my farmhouse and just spread that love all over every square foot of this house. So there's Mr. Crafty Thoughts himself. There's Kurt. Everybody knows Kurt. So of course his job was to find the studs and make sure stuff doesn't fall out. So what I'm going to show you here is I did a Hobby Lobby haul that I showed you guys. I got these canvases and these hooks. I could not say no. The hooks I got for 50% off, so I got them 2 for $5. Now these canvases were crazy discounted. They were $8.74 or something each. So my idea was to buy the hooks. So I went over to the hook area. I got those really cute hooks. And then I also brought Kurt in here thinking that, oh, Kurt, I need you to put these. And he's like, he just brings a screwdriver in. I'm like, dude, I could do that. He's like, yeah, you really don't need my help. So I technically didn't need him to put these in. But if you can see right there, we're just putting the screws in. And he had to, of course, the hooks didn't come with any screws. But so we dug through our copious amounts of extras in a Tupperware bowl that I gave him. And the screws did go through the back just a little bit, but I'm going to show you how I solved that problem. Now, this is not just canvas. This isn't actually a picture frame. So if you find a canvas you really like, but it's a little bit just canvassing, you can actually put a piece of wood, a particle board, a pressed cardboard, something back there to reinforce it. I could have put another piece of wood, but I didn't. So what I did here was I'm covering the sharp parts of the screws in hot glue, and then I'm going to take one of these pieces of cardboard that we pulled off of the side there that was covering the little picture frame hooks, or the picture hooks there, and then I just put more glue on that as a buffer, and then I'm using my craft tape to go over it. So this way the back of this frame has a cute little, like you'll say, a band-aid from those hooks, from the hook screws on the hook that we put on the front. So this is pretty much, you can do this with almost any picture you want to hang. And then from here I took off all the cardboard pieces. Now I knew I wanted this to hang up higher because I am going to be putting swags and wreaths on here, so make sure you get your placement correct. And because those screws are like super bright silver, I just grabbed some acrylic paints in black and real brown, and I'm putting the brown on first, and it's not really helping all that much. So I'm making sure I'm getting down in those little thread spots, and then I just put the black over it. And it's just enough to cover it for your own sake, because we're going to be having wreaths and things hanging on here. You're never even going to really see them. But in any event, I wanted to show you guys the front and the back. And so there we go. I come back and my husband's already hung the main thing. So enter the Whitney. Here's my job. Here's the level. Okay, thanks. Now, the middle piece there that you're seeing, that ride iron piece, I have had this for years. It's probably my first piece of, you could say, farmhouse type style stuff I bought. And I bought this like probably 10 or 11 years ago, and I love it. So I have the canvases up, and you guys remember these if you were there for my Hobby Lobby haul. Hobby Lobby had a crazy deal, so while I was there, all of their wreaths were 50% off. So I bought 2 of these beautiful girls here, so I got 2 for $24.99. And what I'm doing is I'm going to keep them neutral, so we're not going to glue or secure anything in. But I also, on another day, posted to my Instagram and my community tab here in YouTube that I was getting myself in trouble, and I bought some more florals. I want to show you something real quick. On these bushes, when normally you're cutting apart floral stems, you'll notice that there's these little divots. See these little not natural, but they're put there on purpose. The manufacturers put these on purpose so that they'll cut apart easier. But what I'm going to do is make another stem, so I'm cutting it below that. So normally you wouldn't have such a problem. But see, here's another divot right up above. They're giving you little marks in the plastic where it should be easier to cut them apart. Normally I go for those when I'm cutting stems off of bushes, but on this instance I wanted to make picks and these were going to show. So now I'm taking my heat tool and I'm kind of using that to soften up some of that plastic on the back of the leaves and get the creases and all the wrinkles out of the leaves. Now the parts that don't have wire in them, or the parts that have nothing on them, the heat tool is a very good thing. If you don't have a heat gun, then you can always use an ear dryer, a blow dryer. I would be careful with a hot iron, just because if you do melt that plastic, it'll get on your tool there. But I just cut them up. I did the same thing here with some mums. I got both of those bushes, and everything here is from Hobby Lobby. Everything you're looking at is Hobby Lobby. So it was one trip, and you can probably get everything for 2 wreaths. Now I'm putting it through the natural part on the back. That's not grapevine. I don't know what that is, but I do like those. So here I'm showing you now. I'm going to put my berries in. I only cut off 2 flowers for each wreath. I got a bigger and a smaller mum for each wreath. Then I alternated the color on the second one, and I'll show you guys that once we're finished here. So I just took one berry stem and I did not cut it, and I put that down on the right side in between those leaves and kind of worked them all together. Now these little fuzzy things here were a nightmare to get apart because they had some sort of like impenetrable metal circular device underneath it. It took me a minute. So anyways, I'm just going to place them in also sporadically. This is just as I see fit. I did not stay in only one direction. I kind of went both ways, even though the wreath below it is all one way. And here I'm going to show you this one. I'm going to cut basically into 2 pieces. So I went about 3 stems up from the bottom, and I'm going to cut that right there and turn this into 2 picks from one. And that will go on the left side, and you'll see how I kind of incorporate these in together. And that's really all I did for these wreaths. I added 4 different elements, and this is going to be good for a more neutral transition from, summer into fall. So I still have greenery. And I'm going to do another one, guys, where it is all fall, 100% fall. There'll be no greenery, or there'll be very, very little. But this one right now is my happy place for August, September-y, before we go full force into the autumn months. But this right here is the end of it. And then, of course, the little pumpkin, the little velvet pumpkin. And again, those all were on sale, 40% off. So a couple of those items I got for less than Dollar Tree prices. I got them for $1.19. So, you can't beat it. Also, the quality is very, very good. So remember, spend a little bit more, invest in your own stuff, and you can use it over and over for the season. Now, when all this comes out, it's going to be stored in a bin, and I will use it many times over. I'm sure you guys will see it all. So here I'm just showing you up close. I made the second one. I duplicated it. And I love the back of it because it's a good piece in order to, it holds things. So here I'm showing you, I alternated the color of the bigger and the smaller mums on these bushes. And then now I'll show you how I hang them. I did have to place a jute cord on the back, so that's a rope. Find some sort of string, ribbon, or wire, because what I wasn't anticipating was the fact that is a very thick wreath and it will not hook on those hooks. So I did just tie a piece of rope. I found rope that was closest to me. I grabbed it and I cut a piece off 12 inches. I cut them both at 12 inches, and then the best part was just trying to hope that I tied them about the same. The difference will be negligible. It will not make a difference unless you make one so much longer than the other. But I suggest cutting 2 pieces of cord or wire or rope at the same time, and then just have faith in yourself and cut them and tie them the same. So here I'm putting them on the lower part of the hook. Now on this one, you'll notice it hangs a little crooked because of the way I put the item on, or the way I put the rope around the bottom hook. I just had to take it off and twist it the opposite direction. And that's going to be very hard for me to describe it unless I was actually showing you what I mean. But if you see an item that's not hanging correctly and it's not something you can fix with a wired object or a wired ribbon or cord, then just turn it around. And again, this is something that you're not going to be able to see because I didn't have the camera on me. But as soon as I switched it from the left side to the right side of the hook, then now we have 2 items that are hanging perfectly. And that is exactly my vision when I was in Hobby Lobby. It turned out exactly as I thought about it. And then sometimes, guys, that doesn't happen, and that happened with those wreaths, and I could not be happier. So here, this is just a Mod Podge. This is just a big collection of all kinds of stuff. You guys remember that little tin I got from Hobby Lobby haul? I got that at 40% off. That's a cute little tin. Now, that's just for this to decorate with me. You guys wanted to see me doing some staging. And so here's some extra pieces. This is a Hobby Lobby pumpkin. And I'm not even taking the tags off of a lot of stuff. you guys, because you can use a lot of stuff in your stash to stage things, to place things in, and there's a very good way to be nice and sneaky. I'm being a decorating ninja, and I am not taking some of these tags off because I will forget how much I paid for them, and then I won't know how much to charge if I choose to sell them. Some of them I can hide, some of them I can't. So, depends on how, I'll say how ghetto I want to be. I'm like, can you see this tag? You can't see that tag, right? I mean, I'm not going to return it, but I need to use it. So I'm just going to take a lot of these empty not empty, but they're just as is pumpkins that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. And I got a couple of Dollar Tree ones you guys will see there. So I'm doing the bottom row, and that garland is a garland that I got off of Amazon probably 6-7 years ago. I use it in a lot of decorating at home. And so now here's the first DIY of our let me show you. The DIY of our video here. And it's the only one that I can say is a DIY other than the wreaths. But this was a cute little cutting board. I got it 66% off at Hobby Lobby. And I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it because I also found these beautiful little girls when I walked in. Now this is like plate decor. It says fall party plate decor. I have 5 of the word blessed, 5 of the word thankful. It's I guess they're like a thicker. They're not made of wood. It kind of, actually, I don't know. It's probably pressed particle wood board, or it's a cardboard, but they're solid. See how the thickness on them? They're pretty solid. And at first I thought I was going to paint them white, but I decided I really like the orange shine of it. So then I decided I'm not going to paint the thankful white. I'm going to put a very sloppy, rough coat of white onto my cutting board. Now, none of this is permanent. Very minimal amount of glue is being put into this so that we can transition this. Or I was thinking you can even do a double-sided thing. Do one side, Thanksgiving, and then put something else on the other side for Christmas. If you have maybe a Cricut, if you're a vinyl person, if you're a hand painter, any of those things. Or hopefully we'll find some more wooden stuff or some table decor when it comes out at Hobby Lobby for Christmas. And you could do one side and then flip it over and make the other side Christmas. Anyhow, so I decided to put a rough coat of sloppy white paint, and then I'm distressing the life out of it because I want more of it. I want it to look like it has been through some stuff. It has been through things. It has earned it. And I think it makes the thankful look so much, it makes it pop more. And again, that shininess, it's not glittery. It's just, it's a very minimal shine, but it's beautiful. And you see, I'm putting very tiny little bits of hot glue on there. So we can pop that off if we need to. I was keeping that in mind because this little cutting board has so many opportunities, so many options to change it. So here I've got 2 things of ribbon. This orange one here that I'm struggling to open first is from Michaels, and that black and white buffalo check, that's a Dollar Tree spool of ribbon. And I am just going to tie a knot in the buffalo check ribbon. There's going to be no bow. It's just a fast little knot. So again, it's very simple, and a lot of times if you struggle with bows, I know a lot of you say, oh, your bows are great, I could never do it. I don't know what I'm doing either, guys. In fact, here's a finger bow, which I'm not going to slow down, but I do have a tutorial that I made just recently. It's updated. It's very slow. It goes into details. I have it in the description below. It's linked down there for you to take a look at. It's a short video, but it does go slower, in depth, in real time, and show you a single, a double, and a multiple loop finger bow. So take a look at that because it is very, very effective for small bows that you need as accent pieces. So I made a little finger bow out of the orange ribbon that I got from Michaels. Again, I'm using very minimal glue, but that glue is only on the ribbon. So right now you could still slide that off the handle should you need to, or transition to Christmas, those types of things. Or again, just change your idea completely. Or if you want to make it permanent, just glue it up. It doesn't matter. And then of course this, to keep my ribbons from fraying, I'm just going to, singe the edges. And then you could stop here. And I was thinking maybe like a little sunflower right there would be great. I didn't have one that small. I had little felt ones, but they were actually too big. So I just grabbed a piece of, this is an extra piece of the eucalyptus that fell off of those little wreaths I just made. So what I did was I cut them apart, and I'm going to use them to kind of just bring it all in. This is a Hobby Lobby pick that I have obviously pilfered everything else off of it completely. And what I'm going to do here is, I don't know how much of this I edited out, but you guys, this was a little bit of a, I don't know if this bores you or not, you guys let me know. the process of saying, okay, how am I going to place this here? Will it fit? Do I want it? I know exactly in my mind what I want it to look like, but getting it there, I was like, okay, this isn't working out like I thought it would. I had to cut off the bottom pieces of it because it was just a little bit too big. And then I cut the stems off. So then I cut just the bottom leaves off to get the stems underneath my bow. And I'm also trying to maintain the fact that I don't want to glue it up. I don't want to fill it so much of glue that it leaves marks or I have to scratch it off or something like that. So I'm just trying to kind of finagle and maneuver these little things in here that I just have to have. I just have to have them in there. Is this what men go through when women are like, oh, I have to place this here? I'm like, no, it must be there. My life is not complete. If you do not let me cut it and make it my own, I will go insane and I will take you with me. Anybody know what that's off of? That's me, man. That's me, totally. Totally me. Now, I did use this piece. I like the orange color. It's very complementary to the thankful and the color orange in the ribbon, but it was a little bit too big. So I end up kind of chopping it apart, and you'll see I am just organized. I've messed with these little things so dang much. I end up tacking them down. So I'm tacking it down. I am using hot glue, but I'm using such a minimal amount. I'm using the term tacking it down because tacking is not permanent. If you were to come back at this thing, you can pull them off so easily it wouldn't make one bit of difference. You would not see it. And it's not something that should it cause a problem, you can't sand that off. So then you see right there, I did cut the larger piece in half again. And now my eyes are happy. Now my heart's getting excited that this is turning out exactly the way I wanted it. So I have it's almost like a little swag on the handle. Do you see what I mean? Like I've got that little, almost a triangle type situation going on there, but it looks like a little handle swag. That's it. It's a handle swag. I love it. Let's make handle swags. So now you got a little tabletop shelf setter for anything. Now this will fit into your tray. It will also look great just sitting on a bookshelf. You're going to see me here now. I mean, I stopped the decorate part because you're going to see me now add this to the bottom of our shelves after I cut apart the rest of that bush of the fall leaves. So I'm going to incorporate that into my decorations down here on the shelves so that it kind of goes up with the wreaths and then comes back down. You know, everything's tied together. These are some sunflowers I got at Hobby. You guys, I've got these sunflowers probably 7 years ago, and they still sell them. They bring them back every year. I was just at Hobby Lobby, you guys know that, and I saw red ones, white ones, and green ones, and I like the green ones, but I didn't get them. So there's the little thankful sign. Doesn't it look great? That little cutting board looks perfect right there. And I'm so excited about I'm getting excited. And you know, the funny part is it's right behind me right now as I'm sitting here. Now, did those two things look familiar, guys, by the way? Those were in a DIY previous. You guys saw me make those, the tin can arrangement. And then that's a Dollar Tree bottle cap with a pedestal underneath that we stained and then did some white wax. And then I'm just adding my crochet pumpkin that I made. And now this fall thing I'm here, I got that pumpkin with the F on it from Michael's on clearance probably 3 or 4 years ago, and it's been in my stash and I've never used it. That's a Dollar Tree pumpkin. I'm going so fast with you. Calm down, slow down, girl. Now I'm gonna fuss around with this stuff and move it all around there. I took my Dollar Tree tag off because I couldn't hide it. But now that pumpkin F I got for 80 cents. It was on some sort of crazy 90-some% clearance, and you know, at the end of the year, anything with an initial on it, it's always the weird ones left. I'm surprised I found an F, so I immediately went right over to the wood letter aisle and got the ALL. So when I went to the register, I can remember this for some reason. You ever notice, why do you remember weird things? It's like 4 or 5 years ago, and I can remember the girl going, I see what you did there. I'm like, you saw that, huh? That's right. That's right. It's not fall anymore because, again, I got this in the fall clearance. So we were talking about like past Christmas, and it's one of those things where someone probably tried to hide it because they were going to come back and buy it later. I'm not saying that I have ever done that. I'm just saying that would be something that I could see somebody doing, but not me personally. It's just, you know, like I'm asking for a friend kind of thing. Now, I'm going to arrange things back and forth. Oh, there's my little green pumpkin. You guys saw that in my very last video. Now, she sits up great. I know I said it was a bit wobbly and unstable, but she sits up perfect. I mean, I've walked past this thing pretty quickly many times and nothing has happened. Now this I'm cutting into just the stems off of a bundle. This is my Amazon eucalyptus. So if you check out my Amazon store, you'll see it. I got 24 bundles of this, and the only complaint I had was that it was stinky when I got it. So I just laid them out in my garage for a day or two, and the smell went away. But other than that, I love this it's not Dollar Tree, Amazon eucalyptus. So take a look at my Amazon shop. It's in the description below, as well as pinned to the first comment. So if you can take a look under my tools, this will be under project supplies. That eucalyptus is great. So I literally just cut the stems off of one bundle. I believe I bring another bundle in later, and I am just laying my eucalyptus and my fall leaves behind most of my objects. If you see here, all I'm doing is kind of just setting them inside or behind things, and I'm also using my items as props in order to keep things in their place. Also try to stay mindful that the stems aren't showing, so that it can just look like, you know, the leaves have fallen there, or that they're growing out of the item, you know, those types of things. There was for a while that you could peek through that pedestal where that white pumpkin is. Oh, completely forgot to tell you guys. Remember in my Hobby Lobby haul, that pumpkin was my splurge for my birthday. It's like, I bought this. I don't care. It was $10. I got it for $6. Yeah. Excuse me. I got to take a drink, guys. I've been talking a lot. Yeah, like nonstop. You know, normal. So this little end was giving me a little bit of a problem as far as like just something wasn't clicking. Something wasn't, wasn't making me happy. For lack of a better term, I'm going to say this. This is the real me. When somebody asks me something, like my husband will say something, like, what do you think? I'm like, I don't know. There's something missing, you know? It's not blowing my skirt up. You know what I mean? Let me know if you guys know what I'm talking about, or if anybody knows what I mean when I say, it's just, you know, it's not blowing my skirt up. I'm not having that Marilyn Monroe moment. Something's missing. I got to find it. I don't know where it is. And I always say that, like, it's not blowing my skirt up. That's something I usually, you know, that's something I share with my family and my husband, my friends about, like, you know, what do you think? I'm like, I liked it, but, you know, didn't blow my skirt up. So now that I've said it 50 times, moving on, my little letters here kept falling on me, you'll see. And I was like, well, it's not going to happen on the daily basis just sitting there, because again, it's not in an area that's high traffic. There's not going to be any wind. The windows near this don't open because they're decorative windows, and I have shutters on them anyways. So I was just having a problem here, and it started to make me a little angry. Little crafty thoughts were turning evil. So I grabbed my Scotch tape, and yes, that is a kitty cat tape holder my sister purchased for me many years ago as a Christmas present. I also have the cutest kitty cat stapler. In any event, I took some Scotch tape and I made the little circular, like I call that Christmas wrap bundle tapes. I do not know what the name of them is. And I put them on the bottom of the two L's. The A never seemed to give me too much of a problem, but because I'm also messing around with the stuff behind it, again, I was trying to find that sweet spot, because so far it wasn't making me 100% happy with how it was looking. But Scotch tape obviously is not permanent, and it gets the job done temporarily. So I was really happy. What I had to do was had to go reset my camera to make sure that I was still recording, because guys, I could not see what I was recording. So I don't know if I was looking at the camera in the right spots, and I was doing pretty good. So I ended up getting another bundle of eucalyptus, and I believe I only cut maybe 2 or 3 more stems off of it. So it's like a bundle and a half of the eucalyptus from Amazon. So you don't have to buy a large item or a large pack like I did. I got a 24 pack. They sell them smaller, like 5 or 6 or 12. I used about 1.5 bundles here, and that's just to incorporate that into what we had already added. And that's it. That is the decorating part of it. And I mean, I'm done. I am so happy with this. I have looked at this daily. Like I usually, it's at my back right now. So I have caught myself many times just turning around in my desk or turning on my webcam so I can see behind me just to look at it. I love doing this stuff. This stuff right here just like renews your excitement. It gets you, you know, it just gets you so happy to know that you were able just to kind of bundle things together. And if you guys really have any kind of concern that maybe you're not able to do it, I guarantee you can do it. It is the easiest thing. If you want to play it back and mute the tab and just watch how the decorating process, all you're doing is just setting things next to each other. And then you might take some items that are loose. You don't have to have everything in an arrangement. You don't have to have things. You know what? My favorite part is putting things together that you would never think go together. Throw them together and just take a look. I randomly went to go grab stuff that I made in recent DIYs, and it all turned out okay. I even grabbed some, that cream colored sunflower is very fall, yet those, bright lime hydrangea in my little tin can arrangement here, you would never think they'd go together, but everything meshes together in a beautiful summer fall vibe that it just makes me happy. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I could not be over them. I mean, I couldn't be happier about these canvases, guys. This turned out, I was really concerned that that color was more of a putty or a gray and would not look good next to my paint color on my wall. And I like it. In fact, I don't know if it really does go together or not. But if you look at your entire piece, if you stand back and look at it, I also have a burlap wrapped hook that brings in more of the brown from the wall. Grab things that you don't think go together, and I guarantee you they go together. I was concerned that even these berries and these fall vibes that I put into these eucalyptus wreaths wouldn't look good together. But I think everything turned out so good. And see, this is the stuff, if I could do this for a living, I would be the happiest woman alive, I'm telling you. This is the stuff that makes me happy. I just love to look at it, and it's one of those things where you can just sit back, relax, get yourself something to drink. It's like Christmas lights on the Christmas tree at night. I turn off all the lights in the living room and you just watch the tree, watch some TV, put a movie on. It's comforting. It just, that's what this brings me. These are my colors. This is my style. If you guys have ever wanted to know what me and my home is, this is me. I would leave this up year round. I mean, I take out the fall, but this makes me happy. So again, this is where we came from. Not bad, just outdated and a little dark. And this is where we are now. And even my husband goes, wow, he goes, your office is just so much more brighter and happier now. And I was like, well, I'm probably sure I'm in a better mood too. So I have a coffee page, guys. I want to thank everyone who has supported me. You guys have been amazing. And it is very humbling to know that there are so many of you out there who enjoy my videos and my personality and my really bad jokes. But anyways, I want to say I love you all. Thank you so much for all of your support, and we will keep at this. I got so much more planned, so thank you so much. Take care of yourselves and each other. You're doing a great job so far. Many hugs, happy crafting, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.